Welcome to the Lavender Water podcast. I am your host, Matthew Williams, with my co-host, Jay. Let's get it.
Nobody important is listening.
We don't want to make the people feel like that.
What's up with it? What's good? What's good with the people? Hello, people. What's up with the people?
People out there in TV land, radio land, podcast land, let's get it. You know what it is.
It's the Lavender Water podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Lavender Water podcast. Yeah. Okay, so why do we call it the Lavender Water podcast?
The Lavender Water podcast is called the Lavender Water podcast because it was inspired by none other than
Okay, so let's get it. Let's get into how we discovered the formula of lavender water. First and foremost, let's give a little history on who we are. First and foremost, okay. So our stories line up off of the internet. This is where a lot of people make their connections these days. So back, what was it, like 2009, 2010? I met you on the hip-hop group?
It was a Facebook hip-hop group. Yes, indeedy. It was a Facebook hip-hop group. It was a Facebook. Let me think if I can remember the exact name. I forgot the exact name.
I think it was I Live Hip-Hop.
I Live Hip-Hop. There you go. That was it. It was the I Live Hip-Hop Facebook group.
So, long story short, I was making rap music. I needed a feature because I didn't really feel like doing the whole song by myself. One of the admins put up my little listing, and the only person to come through for the feature was my man Jay here. At the time, he was going as Apostle. I was going as Might As Well. Since then, we've collabed, but like 3 or 4 times, maybe 3 or 4, 5 times, maybe. But the relationship started in music, but it's deeper than rap.
It's deeper than rap. It's always rap, but it is always deeper than rap.
That's what we always say. You'll pick it up as we do more of these shows. So. From 2009 up until like 2014, we just Facebook friends. But then I'm in Job Corps in 2014 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then Job Corps' program took me to San Francisco for advanced culinary training. So this is where Jay is from, San Francisco. So we link up, and I literally spent like 9 months in San Francisco. I was probably at Jay's house like 91% of the time.
It was a great time. It was a creative time. It was a time of I don't know. It was a time of coming to a lot of realizations, a lot of epiphanies. We was all on our grind. You had the whole squad from Cincinnati. The whole Natty crew, the whole Ohio crew was out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had a lot of people with me from the O.
But that's what made it beautiful. That was my first time linking up with anybody from Cincinnati, not from Ohio, but from Cincinnati.
Yeah,
and you guys was good people. You guys had that show that great Midwest love. And I hope that I was able to reciprocate that and show you that San Francisco city love back.
For sure. San Francisco probably, like to this day, probably one of the most impactful cities on who I am right now. In the midst of spending a lot of time at Jay's house, I spend the night sometimes. One morning I wake up and Jay is on the computer. He's ordering lavender oil, and I don't know where he got the idea, but I'm glad he had it. Tell him about it.
At the time I was learning about essential oils and the benefits of certain essential oils. So at that time, I still have them all. I got 3. I was using the Monster. I was using Amazon.com to be exact. This is a fact. It was so I got the peppermint oil. I got the lemon oil. And last but not least, I got the ever so inspiring lavender oil. And it was just because, I got the lemon oil because I'm a fan of citrus myself, and I was told that it was a energizing thing to use. I was told the peppermint also kind of wakes you up, and then I was told that the lavender is good for relaxation, and if you're trying to crash out and catch some Z's and get some sleep, you mess with the lavender oil for relaxation and just some good downtime, some good healthy downtime.
So that was about like 2014, 2015 that he got that oil. And prior to that, the only oils I ever been familiar with was like frankincense and myrrh, usually sold by the Muslims downtown Cincinnati. If there's a lavender, if there's any essential oil I still have, is some frankincense I bought in like 2015. That was, it's the best frankincense I can find on the streets. So
what does frankincense smell like? I don't even know what frankincense smells like.
I can only describe it as God's house.
Is it like herby? Is it an herb?
Nah,
is it a
real
plant?
Sexy.
It's a plant?
I don't know what frankincense is. Like, kind of like.
Do anybody know what frankincense is? Let us know in the comments if you know what frankincense is. What's it come from? It's a plant? I'm assuming it's a plant of some sort.
It got to come from the earth. That'd be something that.
It's an animal? It's like a bird. It's a bird oil.
So I'm going to give them a little reading from this book I have. It's called The Complete Guide of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy by Valerie Ann Warwood. If you want to check that out yourselves out there in TV land. So where it says lavender is an indispensable essential oil. It's not only useful to have at home, but many people won't leave home without it. In a sense, it's the mother of all essential oils. Incredibly versatile, yet powerful. The aroma doesn't suit all tastes, but when someone suffers a minor burn or scald, a cut or graze, an insect bite or a headache, a tooth abscess or sleeplessness, it's lavender they call. And this is really true. I use lavender oil for a lot of things. Like I think.
Wait, so where did you see this off of? Where did you just read this off of?
The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy by Valerie Ann Warwood.
Shouts out to Valerie.
So from a different book I have called Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs by Claire Kowalczyk and William H. Hilton. Lavender is given a little history. It says in the Middle Ages, lavender was thought to be an herb of love, but it worked both ways. Although it was considered an aphrodisiac, a sprinkle of lavender water on the head would keep the wearer chaste. Traditionally, the herb's fragrance has been exploited in sachets to protect linens from moths and to freshen sick rooms. It has also been used to soothe troubled minds and bodies as a medicine for hysteria, nervous palpitations, hoarseness, palsy, toothaches, sore joints, apoplexy, I've never seen that word before, and colic. Herbalists claim that it has powers as a carminative, antispasmodic, I have never seen that word either, and stimulant. It has been used.
We learning. Wait, hold on. You said what? It's a stimulant?
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I gotta call it down. We gotta call a flag on the plane, though.
Why?
How is a stimulant when I thought it puts you to sleep and relaxes you? I just gotta keep it 100% true. If I couldn't keep it 100, I can't chill.
Yeah, that's a good question.
For the people, hey, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No.
That seemed like a little bit of two contradictory things.
I mean, but it did say in the beginning is used as an herb of love as well as to basically chastity. So it's like, you know.
Wait. So that's two. That's two of them. There's two of them. See, this is what we do, people. We can't always trust. You can't always just trust what you read. You can't even. Sometimes you can't just give the trust, even if it's from us. We could have just bullshitted y'all. We could have just. What if I didn't call a flag on the play? We would have just had it click like it really was that. So what is it, people? Which ones do you guys think it is? Let us know. Have some lavender water. Take us 50-50. Let us know. Does it stimulate you? Does it relax you? Does it make you feel hot to try? Does it make you feel not?
Some keep it really real. I drank lavender water yesterday morning for the first time, and I don't know how long. Yeah, that's good for the digestive tract as well. If you get my drift.
There we go.
It got many uses. They're calling it the mother of essential oils. I believe them. It's the only one that I just continuously buy and go through. So yeah.
And I've never heard nothing bad about lavender oil.
Right.
Like, I've never heard someone say, nah, that's all bad. Nah, I'm allergic. Well, I'm sure someone out there got to be allergic.
Yeah, somehow, some way, but I don't know. In my experience, I've never met anyone that's not liked what lavender has done for them.
You said what? Say that again?
I said, in my experience, I've never met anyone that doesn't like what lavender oil has done for them.
Agreed. I think we discovered, what did we discover? We discovered it's like natural lean.
It's natural lean, ladies and gentlemen.
Lavender water is natural lean.
So like
a few drops of the oil.
Every morning when I was in culinary school in San Francisco, sometimes I wouldn't even eat breakfast. Sometimes I would just go in the cafeteria, get a glass of water, throw a drop of lavender in it, and start my day.
You would start your day with just regular water?
A cup of lavender water, yes.
A cup of? How do you start your day with it, though? I've never started the day with it.
I mean, to me, it's like, well, at least in my case, it was like, culinary school is, especially when you don't really want to be there, you don't really want to be a cook, there's a lot of anxiety in the kitchen, first and foremost. So it's like, to me, it was like lavender oil was that leveling, you know what I'm saying? When you think of the day of the kitchen, being around people, it's hot, you know what I'm saying, possibly hurting yourself. It's just that soothing beginning of the day, starting the day off on the right foot.
That makes sense. So you're not sleepy because you just woke up, so it don't really put you to sleep.
No, I think that's where the stimulate part comes into play.
All right. So there it is. If you wake up, it's a stimulant. But don't believe it until you use it yourself. You do it yourself, and you guys tell us. Don't let them tell you. You do it. Go out there, do drugs, and tell us what it does. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's terrible advice. Do the lavender oil. That was bad. I'm gonna get us banned. Sorry.
I mean, this is America. We have the right.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I don't promote it, nor do I condone.
I think anybody who knows us in real life, they know how we get down, how we joke. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not out here to destroy the children.
No,
but
no. We don't.
I can also attest that lavender oil is an aphrodisiac. I think I'm a witness to that.
I can't say that. I ain't never experienced it like that. I wouldn't know. But how did it work like that for you?
So I used to use lavender oil as a scent, really heavy, like a cologne, because I've never been into like colognes and scents and stuff like that in the traditional sense. Like every cologne I've ever bought, I still have because I don't really mess with them. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna like the smell, they're gonna like the smell, and then sometimes you smell it at the mall, but then you bring it home, it's like, oh, it's too sweet or it's too pungent, you know what I'm saying? So lavender oil, real like, you know what I mean? To me, it works, it does something as well as it makes you smell good. So
was you ever into cologne?
Whatever. What?
Was you a cologne person?
No.
You was never into the colognes and the scents and none of that?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you, how does it compare to colognes, but because I've never used really colognes like that either.
Cologne kind of make me sick because what I learned about cologne and perfume and stuff like that, eau toilette, was a I don't know how to speak French, but y'all know what I'm saying out there. You know what I'm saying? When you get the little, it'd be like, oh, it's you do toilette instead of like a you do cologne or perfume, but it's like lower tier scent or whatever. But it's like ultimately they usually derive these scents from ambergris, which is like whale vomit or some substance found in whale vomit. So in that, I guess in that respect, it's sickening. It's kind of
they get
gross.
It from whale vomit.
Yeah.
You that's the hot take. That's the hot take. Everybody, cologne comes from whale vomit. You heard it here first on the Lavender Water podcast. That whale got drunk and yacked, and now you rubbing it all on your body so the females can smell it. Am I incorrect?
I learned
was I wrong?
I learned this from an episode of Futurama. The term ambergris. It was like that was the joke. It was like you're wasting all the precious ambergris, and like the dude, he never heard the word before. He was like, the precious hamburgers, and then they give you the little science lesson or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of these
Futurama
come from
Okay. Futurama put us on game.
So back to the lavender oil as the aphrodisiac. Being in a culinary class, I think I was in pastry/baking. So it's like we got some downtime waiting for our things to bake, and I pull out the lavender oil because this is when it's like brand new in my mind, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just dousing it all over myself. And it was these two women that they were like, y'all ever seen them blaxploitation posters where like it's the dude with the gun and it's like women at his leg and all draped on him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was like. It was like I couldn't explain it.
He got the gun up right by his ear.
Yeah. It was like I can't explain it. I didn't say.
You hold it with two hands?
I mean, sometimes
you holding the gun with one hand or two hands?
It's one hand. It usually be an assault rifle too with one hand. Because he's got his other arm around the woman.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like I ain't say nothing to these women. Nothing was special about me. I just had lavender oil on me. They just wanted to smell me and be up on me. And
so what you saying is you was putting buns in the oven and you put lavender water on it and it made the ladies want to let you put a bun in the oven.
I don't know if it was like that, but I mean, it was really comfortable to the point my friend Devontae was looking at it like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, bro. It's lavender. It's magical. It's magical.
It is magical. There it is, folks. The lavender oil is magic. magical. I can't put it on out and about because it just makes me. I might try it in the morning one time though, but usually it just makes me drowsy in a good way, but really don't make me want to be on the move. But
Yep.
that's
That's
where
the.
it's like natural lean for me. I drink it and I relax.
Well, that's it's the the diversity of the chemical compound. I don't know. Somehow, some way. I mean, I think it's with anything that you use, it's about your intention. Same way with like psychedelics.
Same way with crack cocaine and methamphetamine.
I don't think those really got no positive spiritual characteristics. I ain't
Oh,
never
okay,
known
okay,
someone to
okay,
be
okay.
like, I'm gonna smoke crack and then I'm gonna achieve my dreams.
I'm a smoke crack and I'm gonna achieve my dreams. I've heard people say I'm a smoke meth and achieve my dreams.
But like, is it possible to make those dreams come true under the influence of meth?
Oh, of course not. But let them tell it. You can't tell them that. All the dreams is gonna come true off of meth. Don't smoke that. Just drink lavender water. Stay away from the meth.
Yeah, just
Drink
use
lavender water.
water.
There we go. There we go. You heard it first. You heard it first here. PSA.
What you
Fentanyl.
got?
Fentanyl is bad and is in everything. People just love your loved ones, love your families and your loved ones. Don't do nothing because everything got fentanyl in it. Drink lavender water.
Noted.
We just gotta let them know, right? We gotta let the people know the truth, right?
Absolutely.
We're not gonna lie to you guys on here. We're not gonna we're gonna give you the real. And this is what the streets is saying. This is what's out in the streets. It's in the news. I'm not saying anything, some crazy conspiracy theory. This is well documented and has been an issue for quite some time. So you just letting it be known.
For sure. And that's mhm.
I think this perfectly takes us into our inquiry for the masses, which leads us into, I think, yes, leads us into, the topic values. Values. What do people value? And I think that's what, at the end of the day, I think that's what motivates people, right? To do whatever they may do, good or bad. I think is values is what motivates people, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think thanks to just, I think a lot of self-reflection and taking time to learn, I think I've been able to come to terms with what I truly value in life. And I think that's what's important. I think if you can get in touch with that, it'll take you a long way.
So speaking of what's important, when I went to this high school, it's called St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati. I only went there for 2 years out of the 4 years of high school. But the football team, they had this slogan. It was "Win," and it stood for "What's important now." And I've always kept that with me. I didn't play football, but I always kept it with me that, in order to win, you got to really focus on what's important now. And sometimes the future is important now. sometimes right now is important now. You know what I'm saying? As we're getting older, me and Jay, we're in our 30s. You know, so it's really in that time of life where you need to focus on what's important. Because, you know, in this age range, there's no mercy, there's no feeling sorry for you, there's no handouts for a 30-year-old man, you know. So you got to have your values, you got to have your standards, and you know, that's what builds character. That's what makes you a functioning member of society.
Or you're gonna be out here moving crazy. You're gonna be really out here moving crazy, and I think that's definitely what the 20s is about. Is learning what you know what I mean, just discovering and learning what you value and what you don't value, and really growing and understanding yourself and becoming self-actualized, and you know, learning what you're about. Because as you said, there's no mercy out here. If you out here when standing on nothing, you go through your 20s and you can't stand on nothing, and there's nothing important to you. Then what? There's nothing. What motivates? What motivation is there? Correct.
I mean, there is some kind of motivation, no matter what, but it's all in the intention.
If you don't have values, if you don't care about nothing,
if you don't care about nothing, there's still a motivation to it.
What's the motivation?
It's different for everybody. I mean, some people might feel like, oh, they're not ever giving me no chances in the world, so I just don't care. Or I tried, it doesn't work, I don't care. You know, or people spit on me, I don't care.
I don't believe people still care about something, though, at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. They got... I mean, if you don't care about nothing, you just out here existing with no purpose.
I mean, some people...
You gotta care about something. Most people care about something. Come on. Who cares about nothing? How do you care about nothing?
Some people...
How do you exist and care about nothing?
Some people are NPCs.
But you telling me they don't care? Like, they gotta care about something. They gotta care about the TV show. They gotta care about some type of something to get them through the day.
Yeah, well, I mean,
even a dope fiend cares about getting high.
But yeah, even in that example, sometimes the motivation isn't a positive force. So you know what I mean? Like, you can be motivated by something negative or whatever, but it's like when you're doing that, there's like you're not caring about, you know, the outcome of your life. You only caring about this vice or this habit of doing something. You know what I mean?
So that's perfect. So value, just because someone values something or cares about something, or places value on something, doesn't automatically mean something positive.
Yeah, value is very subjective.
You can put value on something and it be negative, right? Can you put value on something that doesn't deserve it and it cause chaos for you?
So me and you, let's tell the people we're ex-rappers. we're rappers, guys. We be spitting bars. We do the hibbity hop. We be making music. We be in the booth.
It's terrible. It's terrible. The worst stuff you never heard.
That's how we met. You know what I'm saying? So the pursuit of hip hop, in a sense, could be something you place value on that serves no purpose.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh, we can't tell them that, no. We can't give them that. No, you can't show them behind the curtain, dog. You can't show them behind the curtain. You can't pull the curtain on the first episode. On the first episode, you know just...
We owe the people the satisfaction of good potting. This is what we talk about.
Okay, he told you guys. He told you guys. He said it. He said, you said it. Come on, you're not gonna say that though. Is all bad?
Like
You
there's
saying
good
it's all
things
bad?
in it. There's good
The
things,
whole
but you can find.
entertainment. You think pursuing an entertainment or music career is all bad?
All right, let's use the famous basketball analogy. You got thousands and thousands of hundreds of thousands of high school kids that want to go to college to play ball. Then from that, you got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of kids that want to get on the NBA team. And from that, you got hundreds, thousands of dudes that want to be Michael Jordan. You all can't be Michael Jordan. We all want to be Jay-Z in the rap thing. We want the money, the Beyonce, the Maybach. But it's like everybody doesn't become the top percentile performer. That's a fact of life.
Okay, this is true. And I get behind that 100%. But I would say this: if you're creative, pursue your creativity. Don't stop creating, but also do it for the love. Do it for the love. If you out here, not most people. I would say most creatives do not make a career off of creating. Is that fair to say? The majority?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're gonna create for the love. Don't think you're gonna just make millions off of it, because the majority of creatives are not making millions. And don't let if people are telling you that or pushing that narrative, they are not speaking the truth. And it's not a bad thing, because if anything, it says by the numbers and the percentages, it just says you should create for the love. Do art for the love of it. Let that be the motivation.
So I'm gonna hit you with the Alchemist.
Okay, go ahead.
The producer, The Alchemist. So the first time I heard Alchemist, I want to say it was like 2001, 2002. The Hold Me Down song. But like
a very weird. One of the weirdest third verses of all time.
I think like the whole thing was a pretty weird thing. I mean,
it's a very odd song. I mean, it's a great song. It is a great song, but it doesn't seem like it's a very, there we go, perfect. It's a very unorthodox song. It's just a lot of things that you wouldn't think go together somehow went together.
Yeah. So seen the Alchemist talking on MTV2 one time, and he said what you said. He was like, if you want to be a musician, don't think about the money. The money is going to come if you stay consistent and just keep doing it. And when you look at the Alchemist's whole time, it's been like 20 years. He's gone for Lil Wayne, Earl Sweatshirt, Currency, Freddie Gibbs, Griselda, Bodie James, all these, lyrical type rappers, you know what I'm saying? And he is really prolific. Like, it's like every other month he's producing whole albums for these people, you know what I'm saying? And in the streaming era, you put it out, you get your fan base, get your streams. They're making their little money, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, they're doing what they love. They love what they're doing, and they're getting paid, And yeah, you got to make it work for you. That's the part of being a creative. You got to understand the business side, and then you got to get creative in the business.
But but that's the thing, is it don't gotta be about business for everybody.
Right.
That's how they always pushing it.
It's just
capitalism. It don't gotta be about business for everybody. It might not be about, there's no shame if your art is not about business for you. There's no shame in doing that. And just don't make it seem like, oh, your art ain't shit if it ain't making money. Not some of the greatest artists alive didn't make nothing from their art until they were dead.
They died with it.
Did I say the greatest artists alive? Sorry about that. Not the greatest artists alive. Some of the greatest artists
to ever live.
To ever exist. Yes, to ever live. Did not become make money from their art until after they died. So just because your art is not generating profit does not, the profit you make from your art is not a gauge of how good your art is or your talent level as an artist or creative.
Right.
But again, we can bring it back to values. It's all about what you value. Some people value the money.
Yeah.
Some people value the limelight. Some people value the process. Some people value the end product. That's why we say on this episode, values is very important. And it's very important to understand your values because it can make a whole lot of difference in what you pursuing.
For sure. So that's what we be on, positivity, conversations that usually aren't had on mainstream podcasts. Like, it's not like, oh, the newest rapper, his baby mom is suing him for $20 million.
That's fire! That's fire! I'm gonna bring you to my baby mama for $20 million. I just saw. Oh God! Yes, let's do it. Sue the baby mamas for 20. But no. That's crazy. That's wild. That's just a hell of a headline, though. That's just funny. Is that actual? Has that happened? Has someone sued their baby mama for millions?
Yeah, I ain't heard of it.
That's hilarious. All right, but yeah, you're not gonna hear that over here. If it does happen, you're not gonna hear about it over here. Unless it happened and you just heard about it over here. We gonna say something, but we not gonna say nothing.
I was talking to my brother yesterday, because we were also some rappers. We was hippity hopping in and spit hot fire. He's doing very well in DC. I don't want to go into that, but we was talking about like the roundabout of doing entertainment or trying to get into entertainment for like a living and stuff like that. And we're talking about my campaign, and he was like thinking about the podcast. He was like really excited for us to do this, and he was talking about ultimately people just want to hear what I'm saying. They value what I say, my opinions, and it was like that. So it's like if I remove the beats, if I remove the rhyme schemes, if I remove the auto-tune, then essentially people just want to hear me talk. That's crazy. It's like I guess the value goes up when you remove certain things that you don't deem as valuable on the product. So it's like, oh, I don't like the music, but then pick it off like a sandwich. Like, I don't want the tomatoes, I'm going to take that off, or, you know what I'm saying?
But what if you wanted pickles and mustard?
I mean, I think it's, because it's like, it's different with like entertainment versus like something else that's serving you. Whereas like a restaurant, you can request no pickles, no tomatoes, no mayonnaise or whatever. But it's like with like, say, clothing or music, you can't tell the artist or the designer, I don't want that on that. Like, make it like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some companies listen to their fan base and do things like that, but for the most part, when it comes out, that's what it is. You know what I
mean? Yeah. This is true. It's
like when 50 Cent came out with Get Rich or Die Trying, his fan base could be like, hey, Shady Records, Aftermath Records, we didn't like how you put all these songs on this debut album. We wanted it shorter. Who is genuine? Hey, re-release Get Rich or Die Trying. Hey, that title is insensitive. No one should die trying. It's just get rich. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no one should die trying. No one should die trying. Come on.
You know
we all die trying. Well, most of us die trying. I guess. I mean, if you die, most of us die after we try.
Yeah, for the most
of
part, we all die trying.
Most of us are trying to live, right? So
yeah,
most of us die trying to live. So yeah.
For the most part, yeah, I'll say. But you know, it's like you can't just like talk that shit in the creator's ear and be like, you fucked up. This is not. We're not like, you know, these days, because Twitter makes you so accessible. You know, on the mainstream. You know, YouTube or whatever. OnlyFans, Patreon, whatever, it's like people are allowed to like talk to you now and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like now people are now more self-conscious about their creations or whatever. And then I think it's like uninspiring and throwing salt in the creative game. You know what I mean?
I agree. Hello.
I mean, I thought you was gonna come with more with it, you know.
That's a good point to stop.
Hey, I mean, if it's natural. All right, then this is.
I think that was a good way to cap it off.
Yeah, this is Lavender Water Podcast, brought to you by Matthew Williams and Jay Once Nude Clothing and the United State of the Art. All these things, ideas become more concrete. Let's stay creative, let's stay positive, and have a good weekend.
Peace.